have in your article, you say that a narrative
Yes.
Out there,
Yes.
which seeks to diminish its significance, let's say, Abantu Basematabeleland, and
Yes.
casting them second-class citizens.
Yes.
Ngokuze a direct question, where does that narrative come from?
That narrative comes from people from outside Matabeleland, but it has been now domesticated by some people within Matabeleland. I'll give an example. In 1980, ZAPU is the party that was at it's called the mother party right now, not out of nowhere. It gave birth to the liberation struggle in Zimbabwe. But when we went to 1980, I will not say the people of Mashonaland, I will say the people of Zimbabwe voted tribally. The people of Mashonaland voted for a party because it was led by the Shona, and they thought they were Shona. The people of Matabeleland, because they thought they were Ndebele, voted for a party that was led by Ndebele. But the party that was voted in Mashonaland as a region was not called a provincial party or a regional party. It's called a national party. The one that gets voted in Matabeleland in 1980 and 1985, even now they say it was a regional party. You go to ZAPU, having broken away from the Unity Accord of 1987, it's reviewed as a regional party. Now, 2000, a party is formed out of trade unions, student unions, and civil society. The biggest trade union which had led the rally which ended up with us having this political party was the ZCTU. It was led by Gibson Spanda as its president. And the ZCTU led the rallies for the formation of a political party that was going to defend the Zimbabwean space from continuous attack by ZANU PF. But because Gibson Spanda was not Zimbabwean enough, or was not considered Zimbabwean citizen enough, what do we get? People agree that Morgan Tsvangirai should lead that political party because the people of Mashonaland are not going to buy into that party. Fast forward to 2005. Morgan Tsvangirai breaks the MDC constitution. The party splits. They begin to say these who followed the constitution, the likes of Gibson Spanda and Welshman Nube, who said we cannot continue where the constitution of the party is not respected because we are here for as a democratic movement for so that we usher in democracy in Zimbabwe, and therefore this goes with constitutionalism. But Welshmen and the likes are now declared a regional movement until they go out to hire Arthur Mutambara, who speaks a certain language, who is considered Zimbabwean enough to lead them. So this has been, you look at the issue regarding Thokozani Kupe and Morgan Tsvangirai, or Thokozani Kupe and Nelson Chamisa, when the party splits based on a refusal by Nelson Chamisa to follow the party constitution. Kupe is branded a regionalist. She's called a dissident. She's told to Tsokera Uburuwa. So this narrative was enforced by ZANU PF, but through propaganda and through self-belief or through entitlement from the people of Mashonaland. I will not beat up around the bush. From the people of Mashonaland, she was parceled out as a regional leader. She was parceled out as somebody who doesn't deserve to be a leader of a national movement. Right now, we have the CCC, we have ZANU PF. They will never, ever be led by Ndebele because the belief is that if it gets led by Ndebele, it's going to lose to the one that is led by Shona, or it's not going to be Zimbabwean enough. So Ndebeles are not considered Zimbabwean enough, first by the people of Mashonaland, but now we have reached a stage where the people of Matabeleland themselves, as I gave an example of Welshman Ncube and Gibson Spanda, hiring Arthur Mutambara. So there is this two-way process of trying by the Ndebeles and by people outside of Matabeleland to say, if you are from Matabeleland, whether you're Kalanga or you are Venda, you cannot be Zimbabwean enough unless and until you have been validated by somebody from outside Matabeleland. National enough, there is a political party, the CCC in Bulawayo, which has a structure, an unofficial structure called the Pioneer Collar, which has people from outside Matabeleland who are calling the shots. We have parties where people have to be imposed from Harare. That is why even in my letter I said the management of our resources should not be dictated from somewhere else. That is the mainstream political parties that were there. We elected people from MTC, they failed us. So we need to agree that we have tried this, it has failed. These political parties will never have Matabeleland interest at heart, except when they want our votes. Another example is the issue of Kukura Hundi. You will see that Kukura Hundi is only mentioned in passing during campaign periods, because when you mention Kukura Hundi and you're from Matabeleland, even our own people in Matabeleland, they will tell you that Kukura Hundi is a past issue, because even if they are in ZANU PF or they are in CCC, once you mention that and you are Ndebele, you are considered to be a tribalist, you are considered to be a Mtwagazi advocate. So we have to first and foremost reach out to our inner selves as the people of Matabeleland. And once you have reached out to your inner selves and you have discovered that you are ready to claim your space as a Zimbabwean who is equal to any other Zimbabwean by birth or any other requirement that is enshrined in the Constitution, therefore nobody can tell you who you are. Nobody can come into your space and claim your space or claim a resource in your space. Nobody can come into your space and declare themselves a leader in your space without you knowing them, for starters, or without you certifying that they have that particular space at heart. So this is where we have to begin. We have failed to force these other political parties to represent our interests. There's no reason why, after we voted the MDC up to CCC now, Kukura Hundi has never been tabled in parliament as a standalone concern, as a standalone declaration that this was a genocide. There is no reason why the people who have led the MDC, who have led the CCC, who have gone everywhere, who claim to be connected to the international community, have not tabled Kukura Hundi to the UN, to these superpowers of the UN to have it declared as a genocide. But these are the people that we have been voting into power. So our interests will always take backstage, will always play second fiddle to their own interests. That is why when you read their books, when they talk about political violence in Zimbabwe, political killings in Zimbabwe, they will only start from 2000, because that is where they became affected personally. That is where their own became affected. So this shows us that to these people we are nothing. Let us be somebody to ourselves, claim our space, and prove to them that we can do it on our own. If Welshman Ncube were to break away from CCC today and form a party which speaks to the broader Zimbabwean spectrum, which speaks to the broader Zimbabwean politics, Nelson Chamisa will declare him a tribalist. He will declare that party a regional party. And if we go to the elections, believe you me, he won't get votes in Mashonaland. That is because this system is now cascaded down to the people of Mashonaland. Go to watch the video in which Thokozani Kupe was nearly burned while attending a funeral of Morgan Tsvangirai. Listen to the insults that she was getting. Urihure, dissident, that word dissident. For a people who say that they care about Matabeleland shouldn't be used against somebody from Matabeleland, because it is the basis on which the people of Matabeleland were butchered. They were called dissidents, and they were butchered. So you listen to Morgan Tsvangirai in 2008 when the MDC contested as a splinter. He went to Lupani and said Welshman Ncube is a village politician, because Welshman Ncube was campaigning around Gukurahundi, and he is campaigning around Gukurahundi because he is a victim of that Gukurahundi. So for as long as this system prevails, the other reason is we failed to create Zimbabwe as a nation, or to create a Zimbabwean nation out of the people of that particular country. So there are others who believe that there are more Zimbabweans than others, and therefore they must tell you what to do. So this now has become a multi-layered problem, which unfortunately some of our own have bought into.